Hey, Toby here from HealingDrummer.com. Thanks a lot for checking out my video this week. Last week we talked about how magic can happen when you're clear and absolutely precise, when you've done your research and you're clear on what it is you want to accomplish. How out of the blue someone came and provided the resources that I needed to connect with, to complete a project that I had slated in my mind and on paper. What I want to talk to you about today is how clarity can also overcome some of the obstacles that may happen once you start to initiate the completion or creation of your project. Okay, so I talked last week about how I had the CDs in mind. I had Dancing Fire and Four Doors Open. I had exactly slated out what I wanted to have happen, so on and so forth. I had the graphics done, on and on and on, right? Clear as a bell. I go into the studio. I booked my studio time. I booked Kung Fu Bakery in Portland, Oregon. Great studio if you ever need to do anything. Had it booked for 24 hours. I met the engineer, Dave Friedlander. And Dave is an amazing guy. As a matter of fact, he is the engineer that did a bunch of the work for Prince, Prince's heyday. So when I found out that I was working with this, phenomenally talented engineer, I felt very inferior. I was a little intimidated. Here I was just I've been a drummer for a long time, but I haven't been famous like Prince, right? So anyway, we go in and the first thing that Dave says is, I want to tell you how honored I am to work on this project with you. I almost started to cry. I almost do now when I mention it. He was so sincere. He says, I work with so many different people, and to make a CD and work on a project that's going to help someone, that's going to bring healing to people, is really an honor. He said, I studied African drumming and I never really completed my training, so to be with you in this project is really an honor. Thank you. I'm just like, wow. I was blown away. Anyway, I told him what I wanted to do. I wanted to do one CD that had 4 15-minute sessions, and then I wanted to do a second CD that was 45 minutes long of straight drumming. He said, well, I've been an engineer for a long time, and I will tell you, it is impossible to do 2 CDs in one setting. He said, I've just never, ever seen it happen. So it's unlikely, but we'll go for it. I'm with you all the way. If you can pull it off, I'll pull it off. And I'm like, all right, let's go for it. So we started, and it took about 12 hours to get Four Doors Open down. And about 2 in the morning, we take a break. We're having a pizza, snacking, relaxing, and there's a knock on the door. It's like, it's 2:15 in the morning. Who could possibly be there? And who comes walking in but my friend Jeffrey? Jeffrey is a man who, when he came to me, was suffering with drug addiction, alcoholism. He was HIV positive and heading into full-blown AIDS. I mean, this man was sick. And the drumming totally gave him a new life, helped him eradicate his addiction, restore his health, powerful healing from the drum. And he said, I knew you guys were going to be up. I had to come and be part of this. So I told Dave, the next one is going to be 45 minutes of straight drumming. And he said, well, you've been drumming, we've been working for almost 12 hours. I can't imagine that you could sustain this kind of energy for 45 minutes straight. Why don't we do it in 10-minute intervals and I'll just punch you in? I said, no, it's got to be absolutely authentic. It's got to be from the heart, and it's got to flow. I know I can do it. He said, okay. I said, here's what I need from you. Okay, if I screw up, we'll stop and you can punch me in. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. But what I need you to do, because I'm going to go into a deep trance while I'm drumming, I need you to flash the lights in the studio so I know when 45 minutes is up. He said, that's fair. So I look in the control room, and here's Jeffrey. Dave's in there. He points, gives me the go. I say a prayer, asking for the healing energy of the drum to flow through this CD, and I start drumming. I didn't know where it was going to go. I just closed my eyes and started rolling. I opened my eyes about 10 minutes into the track, and I see Jeffrey dancing all around the control room. It was so cool. And so I loved how the drumming was affecting him. I had a couple friends helping me with hoop drums and rattles, and they were throwing little things in here and there. And we're drumming away, and then the next thing I know, the lights are flashing in the studio. Seemed like 5 minutes, right? Well, it had been 45 minutes, and when we stopped, it was 46 minutes and 10 seconds. When I went into the control room, Dave said, when you market this CD, you have to say that this CD was done in one track with no overdubs. And he said, I got to be honest with you, I didn't believe it could happen. And this is one of the first times I've ever seen this. This is a miracle. But we got, amazingly enough, we got 2 CDs done. Dave stayed up the rest of the night to mix and master both CDs, and it was actually 26 hours when I walked into the studio and picked up the 2 master discs to have the CDs printed. So, just because somebody says something's impossible doesn't mean it is. Have your focus clear, have your intention strong, and be willing to work 24 hours straight or do whatever it takes to make it happen. Next week, I'm going to surprise you, okay? But just get ready. This week, I want you to think of what you would do if you could do anything. Who would you reach? What is the message that you would bring? And how would you bring your message? Okay? Take care. Have a great day. Thanks for watching the video. I know this one went a little longer than the others, but I hope it was worth it.